Okay, so after watching an article or an interview called J.K. Rowling Life After Harry Potter, I found this quote. And it says, "Just think how many books I could have sold if Harry had been a little bit more creative with his wand." Most people probably understand that this is a reference to 50 Shades of Grey having more immediate readership based onto it. But the surprising thing is Harry Potter series is still one of the most wildly popular novels and series in time. And it's outstanding about the fact that she didn't expect any of that. She didn't really want any of that. She wanted just to share her story, or share her version of Harry's story. And she didn't expect anything that came from this. So after doing much research and after reading the books multiple times, I came to figure out that the main influences on this novel was the influence of her mother, the influence of her and her childhood friends, and the journey that she took to actually being published. And it may not be a direct influence, but whenever you understand that, you understand more of how she got to the point she is and how she still stayed so humble even now. She gave most of her money away from charity, and she's still who she is. We are the Harry Potter generation, and this quote demonstrates what I mentioned before about she's still super popular even now. Like, Twilight came out years after Harry Potter even started to come out. So we are the Harry Potter generation. We watched every single one of these characters grow up 3 to 7 years, and it's just a movie. They're just regular characters. None of them are wizards, but we still were connected to it. So the first influence was her mother. Her mother is obviously the elder woman in the picture, and her mother got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. After reading a novel by Kirk, J.K. Rowling, a biography, I discovered that her mother actually got diagnosed before she was shared about the novel, which comes in later, but it was still a major impact on her life. And it spread quickly, and the diagnosis was a shock to most of the family because she was a healthy non-smoker, non-drinker, and in 10 years' time, she lost all mobility, and she went from being a vibrant young woman to being dead in 10 years. And further research, I came to figure out the influence of the books. And the first, what I got from J.K. Rowling, a biography by an author called Smith, and it was The Mirror of Erised. Anyone who's read the books or even watched the movies knows that this mirror shows any person who looks directly at it what they most desire in their life. For J.K. Rowling and for Harry, it was to see and talk with their mothers, and Harry's case was also his father. But even reading that scene in the book or watching it in a movie, it was clear that the scene was directed towards Harry's relationship with his mother, not his father, and that's directly correlated to how J.K. Rowling felt towards her mother. The second influence came from facts about J.K. Rowling by Biography Online, and it was the Dementors. As most readers know, Dementors suck the soul out of a person. They are literally the dictation of depression. And that was what J.K. Rowling was suffering because of her mother's influence. She lost one of the closest people in her life. So, next, it is on how J.K. Rowling portrayed herself in the novels and her experiences. First, with Hermione. Hermione is a direct correlation to J.K. Rowling herself. She was very smart in school, very motivated, just like Hermione was, and she was very socially awkward. I got that again from Smith, the same novel. And she was very unpopular, but that hid the insecurity of her looks and hid the insecurity of everything else going on in her life, just like Hermione does in the novels and the books. Second correlation was Ron Weasley. Ron Weasley didn't come from J.K. Rowling herself, but came more from her friend Sean Harris. And he was the loving friend that joked around all the time and just made J.K. Rowling feel better, much as Ron does for both Harry and Hermione. And the second correlation was the Teals poured Angela. This car is very significant in many of the novels. The car goes from just being a car that Ron's father worked on in the garage to being able to fly, to running Harry and Ron into a tree and escaping into the forest, and then later coming back and saving their life from big spiders. So he went through a long transition, just like J.K. Rowling and Sean Harris went, and while they were in grade school, and they would drive around in the exact same car, and it would be J.K. Rowling's escape from her current life, just like a flying car is kind of an escape from reality in an already unrealistic world that is Harry Potter. So then it goes on to her journey to being published. While this is very documented, that fact that everyone knows the story that she came up with Harry Potter on a train, and that's why they take a train to Hogwarts. But what most people don't know is that everything did come from a train, but she wasn't able to write about anything while she was on a train. She had no paper, she had no pen. She literally went and thought through every single aspect of Harry's character for the hours on the train. And through that, she came to realize everything about the story and everything she wanted to have Harry be and the progression of the 7 books. So then on an article on BBC about J.K. Rowling came up to the idea of her depression. And that's another reason why when she was writing this novel, that's why in some places it gets really dark, because these novels were an escape for her. They were her way of leaving her reality, her way of escaping her mother's illness, her divorces, her everything, and it was her way of escaping. So the second part to that was the publishing. Bloomsbury Children's Book was actually a very small company, or a very small publishing group in England at the time. It was extremely small, it was up and coming. She got denied from 3 major publishers in the UK. And this one, the only reason why she got published was because a little girl that was the daughter of one of the publishers read the first chapter and demanded the next. So after reading J.K. Rowling's The Wizard Behind Harry Potter and Rags to Riches success story, I learned that she went through all of this. She got denied from everyone that's credible, and she got to the point where she is. She succeeded. The other big thing was she had to change her name. She doesn't have a middle name. J.K. she doesn't have a K in her name. That's actually reference to her grandmother's name. But her name is actually Joanne. The reason that they chose J.K. Rowling is because by reading that name, you don't know it's a girl. You don't know that it's a girl name. And Bloomsbury Children was afraid that the primary audience pool, the young boys, would not want to read a story written by a girl. Well, she kind of proved everyone wrong, because now everyone reads her novels. So she moved from one novel to having a complete generation. Every single person pretty much in the world will know who Harry Potter is just by saying it. That's why there's a park. There's now actually 2 parks at Universal. There's the novels, there's all the movies, there's all the crazy fan theories on Facebook and Twitter that make no sense except for if you take one sentence out of the novel. But she made a generation. And that is why she is the best.